Have you ever been at a backyard barbecue or out on the patio, feeling perfectly fine one minute and then suddenly heavy-eyed, a little foggy, and wondering why standing up makes the world tip just a bit? It isn't always the heat alone. Sometimes it's dehydration sneaking up quietly, and after 60, it tends to sneak faster than it used to. Your body is still smart, very smart, but it changes with time. Thirst isn't as reliable. Kidneys don't concentrate water quite the same, and a lot of us take medications that make fluid balance a little trickier. The good news is you can absolutely stay ahead of it with a few easy habits. Today we're talking about 6 summer dehydration mistakes seniors make and how to hydrate right without overdoing it, so you feel steady, clear-headed, and energized through the hottest months. Let's start simple, with something many of us were taught to do. Drink when you're thirsty. That sounds reasonable, but mistake number 1 is waiting for thirst to tell you when to drink. After 60, the body's thirst signal can be late to the party. By the time you're craving a drink, your blood volume may already be a little low, and that's when you get that lightheaded feeling when you stand, or that dry, tired headache. Instead of letting thirst drive the bus, try a gentle routine. When you wake up, have a glass of water before the day runs away with you. Keep a cup or bottle within reach wherever you sit, by the chair where you read, on the porch table, next to your puzzle. Take a few sips every hour or so, not a full chug, just enough to keep the system humming. If you like structure, set a small timer on your phone or the kitchen stove to remind you to take 5 or 6 swallows. If you take morning medications, make a habit to sip before and after you take them. If you nap in the afternoon, have a little drink when you wake up. You can also let your body give you a quiet clue. Peek at your urine a couple of times a day. You're aiming for a pale lemonade color. If it's dark like apple juice, that's your cue to drink a bit more. If it's clear like water all day long, that might be a sign you're flushing too much with not enough minerals. And we'll talk about that in a moment. Now, maybe you're thinking, I don't like plain water, and that's okay. You don't have to force it. Many drinks count. Add a squeeze of lemon or orange, toss in cucumber slices or a few berries, or try herbal iced tea with no caffeine. Milk can be a great hydrator. Sparkling water with a splash of juice is refreshing. Even foods carry a lot of fluid. Think watermelon, peaches, grapes, tomatoes, cucumbers, and soups. The point is a steady trickle, not a fire hose. Your body loves consistency. Mistake number 2 is forgetting that medications and health conditions can tilt the hydration equation. If you take a water pill for blood pressure, it is literally designed to pull fluid out of your body. Some diabetes medications do the same. Laxatives, especially if used often, can contribute to fluid loss. Antihistamines, which so many of us rely on during allergy season, can dry you out too. On the other hand, if you have heart failure or kidney disease, you might have a fluid limit to protect your heart and kidneys. That's why the best hydration plan is personal. It's not about guzzling the same amount as your neighbor. It's about what keeps your body balanced. Here's a simple way to make this work for you without turning it into a science project. First, ask your doctor or pharmacist, do any of my medications make dehydration more likely? And do I have a daily fluid target or limit? Write that down. Then match small sips to your medication schedule. If you take a diuretic in the morning, front-load gentle hydration in the early day. Half a cup before you take it, half a cup after, then a few sips each hour until lunch. If you're headed out to run errands on a hot morning, drink a small glass before you leave and take a bottle for the car, but skip the big chug at the last minute that will just send you racing to find a restroom. Keep an eye on how you feel an hour or 2 after your medications. If you're unusually tired, a bit dizzy, or your mouth feels dry, that's your body whispering for more fluid. At the same time, know your red flags. If you haven't peed in 6 to 8 hours, if your heart feels like it's racing, if you're confused, or if your legs cramp more than usual, those are signals to rest in a cool place. Sip. And if it doesn't ease, call for help. And if your doctor has set a specific fluid limit, honor it. There are ways to make those ounces work harder, so you feel good without overdoing it. Which brings us to mistake number 3, and this one surprises a lot of people. Drinking only plain water and washing out your electrolytes, or trying to do all your hydration in one sitting. Water is essential, of course, but your body runs on a mix of water and minerals, sodium, potassium, magnesium. Think of them as the tiny helpers that keep your muscles moving and your nerves sending clear signals. If you drink large amounts of plain water in a short window, especially after sweating, you can dilute those minerals. That's when people get headachy, woozy, or crampy even though they're drinking plenty. The fix isn't to give up water. It's to pair your fluids with a little bit of the right fuel and to spread them out through the day. A very easy approach is to alternate plain water with a mineral-friendly choice. That could be a glass of milk, a light broth, a low-sugar sports drink diluted with water, or an oral rehydration solution if your doctor recommends it. You can also make your own gentle sipper at home. A glass of water with a squeeze of lemon, a small pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of honey if you like a touch of sweetness. It doesn't need to taste salty, just bright. Foods do a lot of heavy lifting here too. Snack on a small handful of lightly salted nuts. Pair a banana with a spoon of peanut butter. Enjoy cottage cheese with sliced tomatoes. Have a cup of tomato juice over ice. Or eat watermelon with a tiny sprinkle of salt if your doctor says sodium is okay. These simple pairings help you hold on to the water you drink, so it actually reaches your muscles and brain. If you ever try to catch up by downing a big bottle of water at once, you've probably noticed it rushes right through you, slow and steady as kinder to your body. Think in sips and small glasses through the day, and more importantly, match your intake to your heat and activity. A shady morning on the porch doesn't require the same plan as 2 hours gardening in the sun. And if you've been sweating, don't be afraid of a little salt unless you've been told to limit it. It's a tool, not a villain, used modestly. The caveat, of course, is if you have heart failure, kidney disease, or a low-sodium prescription. In that case, keep your doctor's guidance front and center and lean on foods like milk, yogurt, and potassium-rich fruits for a safer mineral boost. A lot of people ask, how much should I aim for? There isn't one perfect number. Many older adults do well with roughly 6 to 8 cups of fluid across the day in hot weather. But that can be more if you're active and sweating, or less if your doctor has set a limit. Don't get stuck on measuring. Focus on rhythm. A glass in the morning, a glass with lunch, a glass in the mid-afternoon, and a glass with dinner, with little sips in between, will carry most people through just fine. Let your energy, your urine color, and your comfort guide you, with your clinician's advice as the guardrails. So picture yourself back at that barbecue. You've got a chair in the shade, a cool cloth for the back of your neck, a glass with some ice and lemon, and a small plate with a few olives and slices of cucumber. You take slow sips while you chat. You stand up to greet someone, and your head feels steady. Your legs feel strong, and you're present for the moment instead of worrying about finding a bathroom or fighting a headache. That's what hydrating right, not too little, not too much, can do for you. What's in your glass matters just as much as how often you drink. And there are a few popular summer choices that can quietly nudge you toward dehydration, even when they feel refreshing. Those tall, frosty glasses can be tricky. Mistake number 4 is leaning on drinks that look refreshing, but quietly dry you out. Iced coffee and sweet tea feel like summer in a cup, but caffeine nudges your kidneys to send more fluid to the bladder. One glass won't undo your day, and you don't need to give up what you love, but it helps to treat caffeinated drinks like treats, not your main hydrators. If you adore iced coffee, try half CAF or decaf in the afternoon and pair it with a small glass of water. If sweet tea is your favorite, brew it weaker and add lemon, then sip water alongside it. You'll still enjoy the flavor, but you'll keep your hydration steady. Alcohol is another smooth talker. A cold beer, a chilled glass of white wine, or a margarita on the deck sounds perfect until you realize alcohol blocks the hormone that helps you hold on to water. That's why you run to the bathroom and wake up parched. A simple rule of thumb is 1 drink, then water. If you want a second, make a spritzer, wine top with sparkling water and ice, or switch to a fun mocktail. Club soda with a splash of cranberry and lime tastes festive and won't undo your hydration. And if you do enjoy a drink, have it with food. A little protein and salt help your body hold on to fluid better than drinking on an empty stomach. Sugary sodas and lemonades might give you a quick lift, but a lot of sugar can pull water into your gut and leave you feeling even thirstier later. You don't have to skip them entirely if they bring you joy. Try a lighter version. Half soda, half sparkling water. Lemonade cut with water and a pinch of salt if you've been sweating, or better yet, a homemade flavored water with fruit slices. Keep in mind that some sugar-free drinks use sugar alcohols like sorbitol, which can upset the stomach and cause loose stools in some people, and that's a very quick path to dehydration. Notice how your body reacts. If a drink leaves you bloated or rushing to the bathroom, it's not a good hydration partner for you. Sports drinks deserve a quick word, because the advertisements make them look like the best solution for heat. They do have electrolytes, which can be helpful, but many are heavy on sugar and more salt than you need if you're not sweating buckets. Think of them as tools for specific jobs. After gardening in the sun for an hour, trimming hedges, or taking a brisk walk on a hot day, a small glass of diluted sports drink, half water, can help you feel better. If you're just lounging, water with a pinch of salt and a few bites of fruit gets you the same benefit without the sugar rush. And if you have heart or kidney issues or are on a sodium-restricted plan, your doctor may prefer an oral rehydration solution or milk, which gives you fluid, minerals, and protein without over-salting your day. Personalize it, not by brand name, but by how your body feels afterward. Steady energy, clear head, and no tummy trouble tell you you've chosen well. Let's talk about another common summer mistake that is more about habits than drinks. Drinking too little on purpose to avoid bathroom trips. This one is especially easy to fall into. Maybe you're heading to church, a concert in the park, or you got a long car ride. Nobody wants to hunt for a restroom or worry about leakage. But holding back too much creates a different problem. Your urine becomes concentrated, which irritates the bladder and can actually make urgency worse. It can also raise the risk of constipation and urinary tract infections, and those set you back for days. The goal is not to fight your body, but to plan with it. Shift your drinking earlier in the day so you're not playing catch up at night. Have a good glass in the morning. Keep up with small sips through lunch and taper after late afternoon. If nighttime trips are a problem, try making your last larger glass 2 to 3 hours before bed, then just small sips with your evening pills or after brushing your teeth to keep your mouth comfortable. Another overlooked trick is to put your legs up for 30 to 60 minutes in the late afternoon or early evening. During the day, fluid pools in the lower legs, especially in the heat. When you lie down at night, that fluid returns to the bloodstream and your kidneys make more urine. That's part why you're up at 2 a.m. elevating your legs earlier or wearing light compression socks during the day can shift some of that fluid sooner. So the late night bathroom dash eases up. If incontinence or urgency makes you nervous, give yourself a safety net so you don't have to choose between thirst and embarrassment. Pack a light pad or a brief for outings. Keep a spare in your bag or glove compartment. And know where the restrooms are before you go. There are helpful restroom locator apps, and many venues list facilities on their websites. Bring a discreet lidded bottle or a portable urinal for the car if you're traveling through rural areas. It's not glamorous, but it's liberating. For the long term, a few minutes a day of pelvic floor practice can make a big difference. Picture gently lifting the muscles you would use to stop gas or urine. Hold for a count of 5, then release. Repeat a few times a day while you're brushing your teeth or waiting for the kettle. If you're not sure you're doing it right, a pelvic floor therapist can guide you, and many offer sessions tailored for older adults. Also, watch for bladder irritants in the evening. Caffeine, alcohol, very acidic juices, and spicy foods can crank up urgency just when you're trying to wind down. It's worth remembering that the aim is comfort and confidence, not a perfect number on a chart. On a day when you're home, keep a glass nearby and sip freely. On a day when you're out and about, start hydrated. Carry a small bottle and take steady sips instead of skipping entirely and try and make up for it later. Your body handles small, regular doses gracefully. And if nocturnal trips are still taking over your nights despite these tweaks, mention it to your clinician. Sometimes there are medication timing changes or simple treatments that can help, and you shouldn't have to choose between sleep and hydration. All of this is about learning the rhythm that works for your life. Think about the arc of a hot day. Mornings are your friend. Get your walk then, or do the garden pruning before the sun climbs. Keep your living space cool in the afternoon when your body heat climbs, and you're more likely to lose fluid through sweat, even if you don't feel damp. A fan, a lightly damp washcloth on the neck, and a breathable shirt can reduce how much water you need to replace. If you use air conditioning, set it to a temperature that keeps you comfortable without chilling you. Shivering uses energy and can mask thirst. If you don't, make a cooling plan. A shady room, a cool bath for your feet, a trip to the library or community center during the hottest hours. Hydration isn't only about what's in your glass. It's also about reducing how quickly your body spends water. Notice how different choices affect you. After a day of good, steady sipping and some water-rich foods, do you feel steadier when you stand, less achy, more focused? That's your feedback. If you felt foggy after a couple glasses of wine on the patio, or found yourself cramping the morning after a very plain water day in the yard, that's feedback too. Adjust gently. No guilt, just course correction. As you fine-tune, you'll start to recognize your body's quiet signals before they turn into loud alarms. A dry mouth is obvious, but there are subtler whispers, an extra long blink to focus your eyes, that slight sway when you stand, a twinge in your calf after a short walk, a sudden crankiness that doesn't fit the moment. Paying attention to those small hints helps you stay in the sweet spot where you're hydrated, comfortable, and not overdoing it. And that leads right into one more big summertime trap. Try and tough it out without a simple plan for hot days or sick days. Mistake number 6 is waiting until you feel lousy to react, instead of having a few easy tools ready to go. Summer has a way of sneaking in extra fluid loss without asking permission, an afternoon fever from a mild infection, a bout of diarrhea from a picnic that sat out too long, a long stretch of chatting on the patio with a breeze that hides your sweat. If you don't have a go-to routine for those moments, it's easy to slide from a little off to wobbly and worn out. Think about how you'd handle a power outage. You'd have a flashlight and batteries ready, not start digging for them in the dark. Hydration is the same. Set yourself up with a small cool and sip plan. Keep a couple of oral rehydration solution packets in the pantry or car, or if you prefer homemade, know your mix by heart. A big glass of water with a small squeeze of citrus, a tiny pinch of salt, and a teaspoon of sugar or honey if you like. Store a clean, insulated bottle in the fridge so cold water is waiting for you. Tuck a cooling cloth or bandana in the freezer so you can wrap it around your neck or wrists when you get home from a hot errand. Lay out a light snack you tolerate well. Crackers with a smear of peanut butter, yogurt with sliced banana, so you're not rummaging while you're already tired. When heat or a tummy bug knocks, you don't want to negotiate. You want to press play on a simple routine your body knows. If you've been out in the sun and you notice that slightly swimmy feeling when you turn your head, a cramped calf, or a low-grade headache, that's your cue. Sit down in the shade or a cool room. Lay the cool cloth on the back of your neck and sip, not gulp, every few minutes. Alternate a few mouthfuls of plain water with a little mineral support, whether that's a small glass of diluted sports drink, milk if it sits well with you, or that homemade salty lemon sip. Put your feet up for a bit to help move fluid from your legs back into circulation while you're awake rather than at 2 a.m. After 20 to 30 minutes, most people feel steadier, and your urine will usually start trending back toward pale. Illness days need a slightly different rhythm. Fever, vomiting, or diarrhea drain fluid fast, and sugary sodas or straight fruit juice can make things worse by pulling water into the gut. Go slow. Take 1 or 2 swallows every 5 minutes. And if your stomach is touchy, try room temperature liquids instead of ice cold. Oral rehydration solutions are designed for this. They're not glamorous, but they're effective. If you're on a fluid limit, call your clinician for guidance. They may adjust your target temporarily so you don't end up weak and dizzy. And watch for red flags that mean you should seek help. Confusion, a pounding or racing heartbeat, no urine for 6 to 8 hours, chest pain, inability to keep fluids down, or a sudden, severe headache. It's not being dramatic to call. It's being wise with a body that's earned your care. Having a plan also means knowing your route home. If a summer concert runs long and the air is heavy, give yourself permission to leave a little early. Top off your fluids and enjoy the encore from the car radio. If the grocery store feels stuffy, pause for a few sips before you unload the trunk. If the grandkids want one more game in the park, move to the shade and make a water break part of the game. Small kindnesses to yourself keep you in the fun instead of on the couch the next day, wondering why everything aches. There's another quiet habit that helps you avoid both under and overhydrating. Pairing your drinking with your eating. Your body holds onto fluid better when it comes with food because the minerals and nutrients help it move into your cells. A glass of water with breakfast, a cup of soup or milk with lunch, tea with a snack, and water with dinner create anchors, so you're not trying to do all your drinking in the gaps. If you tend to skip meals in the heat, try lighter ones instead of none at all. A slice of toast with avocado, a small salad with beans or chicken, cottage cheese with tomatoes, or a bowl of chill fruit gives you both moisture and minerals. If your doctor says it's okay, a light sprinkle of salt on summer fruits, or choosing pickles or olives with your sandwich, can make the water you drink work harder for you, especially after you've been sweating. People sometimes ask about fancy gadgets or apps to track hydration. If you like tools, by all means use them. But your best trackers are simple and free. How you feel when you stand up, the color of your urine, and whether your energy stays steady through the day. If you wake with a dull headache and your mouth feels like cotton, that's not a coffee problem. It's a hydration rhythm problem. If your rings feel tighter or your ankles are puffy by evening, Ask your clinician whether adjusting fluid, salt, or wearing light compression socks could help. That kind of attention isn't fussy. It's respectful. Your body is always talking. We do well when we listen. As the days roll by, notice the small wins. Maybe you stood up after the movie without swaying. Maybe your afternoon slump eased when you kept up with sips during your puzzle time. Maybe an evening leg cramp vanished after you added a little mental support to your day. These are not minor. They're proof that your choices are adding up. Hydration isn't a moral scorecard. It's comfort, clarity, and confidence in the life you want to live. If all of this sounds like a lot, take a breath. You don't need to do everything at once. Pick one change that fits into your life right now. Put a glass by your favorite chair. Add a squeeze of lemon to your water at lunch. Elevate your legs for 20 minutes in the late afternoon. Switch your second iced coffee to decaf. Pack a small bottle when you leave the house. When that feels easy, add one more. The reward is not a gold star on a calendar. It's stepping into a warm evening and feeling present, steady, and ready to say yes. Before we wrap up, let's bring the heart of this home. The heat of summer doesn't have to steal your energy. You don't have to wait until you're parched. You don't have to drink by the gallon. And you don't have to give up your favorite treats. A gentle rhythm of sips, a little mental support when you need it, smart choices about caffeinated and alcoholic drinks, some planning around bathroom worries, and a simple cool and sip plan for hot or sick days. That's the formula. It's not rigid, it's personal. It respects your medications, your medical history, and your daily joys. And it keeps you in the moments that matter. I'd love to hear what works for you. Do you have a favorite summer drink that keeps you feeling good? A trick for staying cool in the afternoon? A clever way you remember to sip? Share in the comments so others can borrow your ideas. If this conversation helped you feel more confident about hydrating without overdoing it, give the video a like. It helps more folks find it. And subscribe for more easy, practical health tips designed for this season of life. We build a community here that believes feeling well is possible at any age, and your voice makes it stronger. Here's to cool mornings on the porch, steady steps, clear thoughts, and a body that feels cared for. Small choices, repeated kindly, change everything. Raise your glass of water with a slice of lemon, perhaps, and toast to living your best life, fully and joyfully, all summer long.